On Patreon, guys, we got 3x1 today. We're going to skip over 2x2 compression. I want to come back to that. I did put together a video earlier today, but I'm going to redo it. The reason why is, unfortunately, I did discover that in quarters coverage, there is the same issue with the outside corner to the three receiver side that we had in empty 3x2. So if number 2 was to run to the flat right now, if he was to run to the flat, okay, which happens sometimes on curl flat combinations, right? The corner will trigger down on him, unfortunately, even in a spread set. So because of that, we're going to have to make an adjustment with the corner in order to play this defense soundly. Let me just do it again here. You'll see it here in the second time. Or else we're not going to be able to run this defense this year. And this is unfortunate, but it's the way it works in Madden. Let me just give you the pattern. So let's just get 2 going to the flat. I'm just keeping 1 vertical. All right. Why is he not coming off of that now? He was doing it a second ago. Let me get to the actual route. Let's go back and do the route that was a problem that I saw this on. And I want to take a look at it right now. It was just a curl. Halfback burst, which is just a curl flat combination. Okay, so obviously our flat route is the same. We got quarters coverage. And you see how he's triggering, right? Now it's a curl, so he's able to come back. But for some reason, he's triggering on 2 to the flat. And it could just be that one specific play. So let me just put the tight end on something different. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but I'm going to now put the outside corner on a vertical, or the outside receiver on a vertical, and you're going to see how that guy is wide open. Okay, so I don't know what it is about 2 to the flat, but that's a problem. So because that's a problem, we're going to have to just make some adjustments. And I feel good right now after sitting down and thinking about it for a little bit that we can get away with this adjustment I'm about to make right now. So as we play quarters coverage versus 3x1, all right, the front side corner, as we just talked about, usually would play mod technique, which means he would read 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. I'm sorry. However, because of this potential flaw that we have right now in 3x1 formations and also in empty formations, we're just going to man him up. We're just going to man him up on, hold on one second. I'm just going to man him up on the outside guy. All right, so we're going to play man out here, and we're going to have to live with that. Now, the safety here is reading 2 to 1. So if 2 does go vertical, even if he runs like an outside breaking route and runs up the field, he will take him vertically. So you don't have to worry about your corner, or number 2 getting wide open. All right. So that's his read. It's simple. It's the same as it is in 2x2. All right. The backside safety, he's what we call a poach safety. So he's going to be actually looking to take care of number 3 on the other side of the formation, the tight end, on any type of vertical route that goes up the field. Okay, he has that. Now over here we have our corner, and in general, anytime we have a 3x1 formation, our corner over here plays Meg, which means that he's going to play man everywhere number 1 goes. So he's essentially doing what we have our corner on the right side of the screen doing. It's just that we don't have to assign him to do anything. He's going to do it naturally. So even though he's playing off, he's going to play Meg. Okay. That's against all routes that we can go up against. I've tested it out. All right, now we have our quarter flat defenders. There's always 2 flat defenders, and in the quarters defense, we call them quarter flats. They're responsible for the outside breaks of number 2. So anything under 10 yards into the outside, they will match that. Anything vertical or anything inside or underneath, they will let that go. And when they let that go, they have vision on looking for any other new routes that might be coming towards their zone. The number 3 hook player, the 3 receiver hook player, is going to relate to 3. So in a 3x1, that's right now the tight end. And all he's going to do is pretty much stay off his inside hip. He's going to basically get in position to play him almost like he's playing man-to-man, but he's going to have vision on the quarterback. He's going to stay off of he's going to stay on his inside hip, okay? So if he runs like a 5-yard out, he should kind of relate with him and stay on that inside hip. If he runs a 10-yard dig, he should work up to about 10 and stay on his inside hip for at least the first 3 steps. The one big thing that he has to watch out for is if number 3 does run something underneath, okay? He runs something underneath like a shallow. His first responsibility is to say, I wall him, okay? So any shallows coming from 2 or 3 from the right side of the screen, he's going to wall and try to make sure he takes that away. This player here, the other linebacker right now who's in the box, is the same responsibilities that he had when it was like for the nickel. All right, he's going to play his number 2 who's in the backfield. If he runs anything short and out, he has him. Okay, if he runs any type of double move, he works outside and then works anywhere else up the field inside, he has him. The only time in the game that he won't take the running back is if the running back works through the line of scrimmage and works inside to the right on screen. Okay, and then he'll let that go, all right, and look to help out where needed. We'll talk more about the corner, the nickel, and potentially what happens if you get a trail type of route. We'll talk about that later. And we'll go through some other examples where these linebackers in the box here, this quarter flat defender, is going to be playing a tough down, okay? And I'll explain some advanced techniques you can do with them. But in general, in this defense, I've always used the 3 receiver hook player because he does a poor job of relating to 3. So 3 can be working to the right of screen, and sometimes the computer would just have this guy working to the left, leaving a wide open number 3 just to sit down and catch an easy pass, okay? So that's what's happening in general. Another guy we want to watch for is the backside safety. A lot of times he would get out of play, he would come running up towards the line of scrimmage trying to match number 3, thinking he's going to go vertical, and he doesn't, and then he ends up kind of in a weird position where he's kind of playing grass and doing nothing. So we got to look at that. And also the disguise is not very good because as soon as the ball is snapped, you're going to see him running over here to the middle of the field. So if you don't have any other defenses that look like that, you're in a little bit of trouble. That's the reason why I usually like to pair cover 1 robber or cover 3 buzz with this defense, because at least it looks the same from that player's standpoint, okay? All right, so what we do here is we'll kind of go through some routes and talk them through. I don't really need to show you 4 verticals more than once. You guys know that the 4 deep guys are going to cover the 4 deep guys. The one thing is just be careful that safety, like I said, he gets kind of out of whack and his footwork isn't great, okay? But we can leave that alone. Let's go into some other routes that I have lined up for today. So it's going to take me a little time here, guys. Every single play I'm going to have to man up. Well, I won't man up the corner in every single play, but just understand that you should be doing that because you have no idea if it's going to be a curl flat combination, okay? Technically, this could be one of the combinations that mess up the corner, all right? So you need to probably man him up. I'm going to leave him alone just for research purposes to see what happens here. But for some reason, that curl flat play is the play that for some reason is really breaking the defense. Maybe it's not all plays. It's just that one play. Okay. So as you saw there on the right side of the screen, it was actually covered pretty well by the corner. He didn't break up. So again, it could be just that curl flat play, but I would still put the corner in Meg. Okay, you got your quarter flat defender. He's relating to 2 to the flat. He's going to take him. He's going to match him to the flat. I'm sorry. The linebacker here is working off of the tight end. He does a decent job. That's pretty much like I said. Basically, it's almost like a soft match. Okay, that's pretty much how you got to think about it if you're using him. Just sit there on the inside part of his shoulder. Okay. You don't have to worry about staying on top of him. You can kind of play underneath him as well. Our backside quarter flat defender. He works 2, works out, works back in. Anytime your guy makes a double move, in, up, or out, you got to just make sure you stay with them. We're good. Backside corners playing Meg, right? 1 runs vertical. He sits down, all right? And this is what I was talking about here with the safety. I'm just going to kind of zoom out here. Look at the safety on the left of screen. He comes running over, not sure if number 3 is going to go down the field on a streak route, and then kind of comes off and basically plays grass there, okay? All right, so that's pretty good. I feel good about that quick game. I kind of gave a harder version of it too because I gave the angle route with the back. Let's take a look at this little route right here. This was always a problem in the past with the outside, with the corner route from the slot receiver. It was always a little bit of an issue. The safety can never get there on time, or sometimes you would actually leave him alone in the old games. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to actually put the corner on his Meg assignment from off. And let's focus on this corner out, right? You see how he's open? He's got to throw it a better timing. Poor job by me. But at least the safety is working in that direction. Okay. So at least the safety is working in that direction. That's pretty good. If I throw it on time, though, it's going to be open. All right. So one solution that I would do if you know people are doing this is to use with the nickel, which might end up becoming one of the primary spots to use in Madden this year. And then, that jam is fine and everything, but I would just hang out and just kind of, again, work with a little bit of width out to the bottom of the numbers a little bit, because technically you are a curl player. And if there's anything coming from the left to right, it's going to get there late. So you don't have to necessarily come off of it right away. Just hang out on that corner route just a little bit, just to make that throw harder. Okay, but that's just a problem playing the defense. My fault. Let me look at the linebackers. All right, so let's focus on the 3 receiver hook player. All right, he's going to get 3 working in. So again, you should have awareness of that, and he's so close to you. You got to be really smart. Do you take him? The answer is yes, but only if number 2 is working out to the flat. All right, because if number 2, the running back, is working out to the flat, your quarter flat defender is what? Matching. So then you would have to match 3. But here, this kind of works out nice and easy, and a lot of these routes kind of work out like this, where the back checks through. So you and the quarter flat defender can switch. You, as in the middle linebacker, 3 receiver hook, and the quarter flat defender can switch and end up playing each other's guys. But unfortunately, in the game, if you just focus on it right here, it's still open, right? I mean, these guys are still naked, and this is why I always say that shallow crossing routes are the problem with the defense, okay? I know the backside corner is doing an excellent job, because this dig route is not that deep. It's only like 10, 12 yards, and the corners do a good job of playing Meg versus that, so... And then also, let me look at the safety on the backside. If you watch the free safety on the left of the screen, you see that he actually gets a lot of, he comes down, but he doesn't run over for too far, because what is number 3 doing? Number 3 is running a shallow. So he kind of lets it go, all right, and then kind of sits back in his quarters track. So he's actually in good shape to help out, or maybe something from the other side. So that's pretty good for him. You can see in most spread defenses, this is still a pretty good defense. I don't see a lot of issues. Salem is a popular play. Let's do that one quickly. Really going to focus on, let's see how number 3 is covered. Okay, does the safety get over there from the left side of the screen on this tight end vertical? Okay, he kind of came off of it because the other safety was there. So that's pretty good. Let's just take a look at that one more time, and then I'm going to do it again. So the right safety in the screen right here, okay, the one that's deep, he's watching 2 to 1. So 2 works inside, so he doesn't have to worry about covering him. So, when I say 2 to 1 in real life football, he would now look at number 1 to help out. However, in Madden, they kind of programmed it. I talked about this in the other video, where the safeties play a little bit more passive and try to help out in more than just, they're not looking with really man eyes, they're looking at with more zone eyes. So if there's any other players like there are right here with this tight end, and he's coming right up the middle, he's going to potentially take him, helping out with number 1. So what does that do? I talked about this. The deep dig routes this year that go about 20 yards, like you get here in the Salem route, really 15 yards here, but this is kind of a deeper route. The outside corners who are playing, in this case, he's playing mod technique, but he will be playing Meg in a second. Doesn't matter. It's a man-to-man type of corner. You usually do get beat on that. There's an opening there, okay? Our linebacker here that's relating to 3, he's sitting inside of 3, like we talked about. He's not going to get no deeper than 10 yards, but that kind of puts the linebacker in position to help out, would give some body presence on that dig. Backside running back is being matched by his quarter flat linebacker, and then our C route here, our kind of modified C out route, is covered pretty well by the computer there. That used to be a play that worked last year. This year, not so much. Regular C routes get open a lot better. Okay, I want to do that one more time. I apologize. I just want to take a look at if I make sure I get my corner in Meg. I don't think that's going to change his technique on that dig route. I think he's still going to be wide open. But let's just take a look. Boom. So we got our off Meg corner. And then now we're just going to rock the same play. We're going to hopefully get a chance to throw this dig route if we get time. All right. So, yeah, the corner is beat, but we have the linebacker there who was there to help, right? So this goes back to the man. That's why I think doing man actually might be the best thing to do. If you're a match team, you should work on your man stuff first and just understand how the corners play and the nickels play. Because right now we're matching, but we're matching with such softness because we don't want to get beat on a streak that he's breaking it off at 15 to 18 and getting lots of yards. So easy for an offense there. We just have to be aware of that when we play this defense, that the digs aren't really eaten up like they used to be if they're deep. Let's look at Jets New Orleans. I don't think this is going to be a big difference. Okay, so again, we're not sure if we're going to get the dreaded curl flat combination. So my advice to you guys is to still Meg number one. Okay, all right. So let's just go on. So this is a good route because one's going to run a short end. Okay, but you have the corner there. He does a good job. And every other route looks to be eaten up here. Okay, so we got number 3. Like I said, he's working across the field and deep. He's good. He's taken care of by that safety. The number 1 receiver on the outside, on the right side of the screen, has the corner playing him Meg. The hard part that I was a little worried about is if this guy runs vertical, will the safety take him? It looks like he is. Good. Let me do another version of that play. I know I have another version where 2 runs a wheel, kind of. It's the same idea, but it's a little bit different. Where is it at? This is how my brain works. Sometimes when I just look at routes all day, I just think about how is this route going to break the defense? Are we going to be okay? This is the life of being a defensive back coach, okay? So you go over, right? You got this, boom, straight. All right, so now I'm worried about right now. Let's see if the right safety is going to take care of this kind of wheel route here on the outside. Yeah, he does. He sits there. And that's another thing, too. I'm going to come back to this right here. So that's good. All right, let's focus on one thing at a time. The safety does a good job of... Again, he's still technically a 2-to-1 player, so 2 works out, right? He's thinking he's out, but he still keeps eyes on him, and he ends up going over to take him, all right, when he goes deep down the field. So that's good. Now, one good thing always exposes a bad thing. So look at the nickel, right? The general rule again is you have 2 to the flat. Anything out, you take. If he turns up, you stay with him. And look how he does that for a while, but I've noticed this in the Madden game in general. To the quarter side, the quarter flat defenders are not staying with wheels. They're not staying with out and ups. They start, and then they disappear, and then they stop running with them. Now, this works out because of what? We have a safety here to help out. So part of the reason why I thought this coverage was better versus than maybe playing Palms this year is because the safety... The strong safety here is there to help out versus potential bust by the nickel. And that's what's happening here. And I talked about it earlier. Maybe you want to use the nickel yourself, okay, if you feel like you can play it better than he does, because he might be one of the weaker people in this defense. All right. So everything else is looking good here. The poach safety is good. Everything else is good. All right. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's go with some drive. Let's get a drive route combination. Always one of the tougher plays against this scheme. All right, so because of the routes, I'm not going to put the corner strong in Meg. He's going to end up running with that guy anyway. We want to watch this dig and this shallow and try to figure this thing out. So this is where the game, I'm going to test this on right and left side. The game has the same, let me do it twice. The game right now, your backside safety should take, he did it a little better there. Your backside safety who's poaching should take this dig, okay? But he's in what we call no man's land, kind of, sort of. He's at that 10-yard mark. So, again, the way I used to teach it is the safeties, if he's over the top of your linebacker, right, if he's past him, you got him. So right now he's past the linebacker, you take him. No hesitation, you take him. It makes life easier for everybody, especially the linebacker. Because the linebacker is relating to 3, right? But then all of a sudden there's that crossing route problem I told you about. So anytime you get a crossing route, a shallow route, you have to wall it because you don't know if your quarter flat defender is going to be there or not to the left of screen. And ironically, look what he gets. He gets a flat route, a swing route, so he's gone. So there's nobody else here to play this route except who? The middle linebacker. So it's your job to now relate to the new number 3 and try to you're not going to stop the throw and catch to the shallow, but you're going to need to come down and at least make a tackle at 5 yards. Okay? And you would hope that safety would be there on this dig, but he came off late. So this is a problem play. Like I said, if you want to go up against a quarters team, just run drive, mesh, things like that. And it makes life hard for a quarters team, okay? Make sure the quarter flat defenders are out of there by having to cover somebody, and then just work on that middle linebacker. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I don't know if I have any other routes. Let's look at the shock H option. I forgot to do this earlier today, so let's see how this looks, because this can be a problem. In general, right, now, it's not a problem if we just let the corner play his mod, because the corner should be there. He actually came down late, so this is something, he came down early and then ran back late, so he looks kind of screwy. Let's try it again. You know, technically he shouldn't have to play that. He should be yelling smash, smash, and the quarter flat defender can go out and get it. So it's actually a good thing that our adjustment is just to play Meg with the corner, so we can kind of expect this, right? Just take that guy and we're fine. But the safety here is going to take, what, 2 vertical. So that's what's going to happen. He's all of 2. You got to have a good player. That's a tough throw to make in this Madden this year, so you should be fine. Just Meg up your outside corner. It'll be all clean. Everybody will be good. All right. So going back to the one play that gave me the first trouble that actually started this film, and just want to repeat it one last time, and then we'll get out of here. This curl play, anytime the actual curl, curl flat is a combination that's in every single formation. But as soon as for some reason you get this combination, the corner will trigger down and play the flat route. I don't know if it's the way the route is designed. It's kind of, really flat, goes really wide. But he's going to trigger down, and the safety looks like he's going to go over there, but he's not. And then that's that. So because of that, we're going to take our outside corner again, and we're just going to put him in man-to-man coverage on number 1. You got to make that one adjustment, and at least now you know that you should be sound, okay? So obviously if you run this play, we got man-to-man. I don't have to show it to you. Let me look at this dig on the backside. This dig, is it deep enough? Or is the corner going to play it? Yeah, it's kind of deep enough. So that's what I was talking about, the backside dig. If you have those digs that get to about deeper than 15 yards, so like around 18, I think, you're going to be in good shape. So we're on the 50, 40. So this has to get to like the 30, past the 35. He actually did run a 15-yard dig. So it could just be the way this dig is what I call a speed cut dig. Kind of rounds it at the top there. That right there, the corners, your Meg corners, or your Meg corners, are not going to play that well. So if you're backside safety, you don't have any work, you might want to get over there and just help that guy out if you want to use that backside safety, all right? I can't think of anything else right now. I didn't do... Again, these formations, I'm showing you spread formations, but it could be like 2 tight ends in line. It could be like just the regular single back wide trips formation. But I always use shotgun because that's today's football. Let me just check one more thing. Hold up. Let me check one thing real quick. Always got to check what happens when there's 4 strong, which I don't really talk about too often. This is still in the trips family, but I'm going to do a separate video on this and just talk about what happens if for some reason there's trips like this. Okay. The back doesn't have to be swinging out, but I just want to see what everybody else does. Yeah, it's still a problem for a little bit. Basically, you're going to get to the front side. I think you're going to get zone coverage. So the matches are turned off. So you can see how, let me just do something a little bit different. I wish I could make it a little bit more realistic. I'm just going to go 3 verticals here just to show you how the safety is going to struggle. The backside safety is not going to run over and take that number 3 vertical. Sorry, guys. Got 2 controllers here. All right. Let's go with this. I can even block the running back. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to go out to the flat. But as soon as he's aligned to this side of the formation, that's considered a 4x1. I'm actually going to go find the name that people use in today's world. It's a different name. I'm going to find out what it is so we can have the correct lingo. But again, we have everything here like that, but then watch the backside safety. He's just going to go back in his normal the frontside safety is doing normal quarters as well, but you can just tell with the footwork that they're out of match coverage anytime you get a 4x1 type of set, or the back is offset to the trip side. Okay, so just be aware of that. If you're wondering why is match not working against certain trips formations, that's the reason why. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, man, in the next video. Peace.